Hello, 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 and welcome to Lyrically Speaking. I'm your host, Chris Colgate, and this is where we dive into the concept, the recording, and all the behind-the-scenes details of songs that I've made, lyrically speaking. All right, everybody, I got a special one for you today. This is a special record. It's very dear to my heart. It's a lot to unpack here. I'm going to try and keep this under 10 minutes. Really great story. One of my best lyrical performances, definitely. Really love this record. I've been sitting on it some years. But there's also some context I got to give you in order for this to make sense. The record is called Sinatra. Yes, sirski. And I'm wearing the merch right now. The plan is to have merch store up and running and available. Let me see if I can angle this down for you guys. There it is. Take a look at that. Take a look at that right there. Yes, sir. That's the Sinatra cover. And it's actually a red hoodie, too, so it's kind of blending in a little bit. But we're trying to have that up and running by February the 14th. 2023, the merch store, bunch of different merch coming out. Super excited to share that with you guys. Let me see here, camera's a little on my face right there. Okay, so let's get into it. Before we just rip through the song and start breaking it down, I need to give you a little context about a couple people that were involved in the process of this and our relationships, so this kind of makes sense. So first and foremost, you'll hear me talk about it a little bit. Many of you already know. If you're new, then you don't know. But I had a kid in high school. Her name is Andrea. She's 13 now. Yeah, I'm getting old. What can you do? When I had her, my parents kicked me out, and I was really just kind of down in the dirt for a while. I had to work 2 and 3 jobs, hustled, did anything I could do to make bread. And it was tough. Went through a lot of stuff back then, got in a lot of trouble. My best friend was murdered when he was 19 and I was 21. I've really kind of been around the block. I've been through a lot of different stuff. So, it was tough, and a lot of this reflects on a lot of those different experiences and where I was. So that's number one. Number two is a producer engineer named Libby V. This guy, dear friend, shout out Libby V. I'm going to tag him right here. Libby V is an amazing producer. So if you're an artist, whether you're a singer, whether you're a rapper, whatever you do, even country music, you've got to tap in with Libby V. Libby has worked with everybody from Chris Brown to Justin Bieber, Blanco Brown, Little Donald. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Dear friend of mine, and just an absolutely unbelievable artist. He's such an amazing producer. Definitely tap in with him. I recorded the hook and the first verse of this song with Libby V. So, good friend, shout out Libby V. Also a mentor of mine. And speaking of mentors, the next person I'm going to talk about is a super producer, Grammy-nominated, super dear friend of mine, awesome dude, Kid Class. Kid Class, you'll hear me talk about him a lot. Super successful entrepreneur, producer, musician, just all-around beast. He's got several companies, owns a chain of studios, a skincare line, a marketing and branding company. He runs industry convos where they do interviews with people in the industry. I'm definitely going to get on that, and I'm definitely going to get Kid Class on our podcast. So definitely tap in with Kid Class. I'm going to link him in here too. Amazing producer, super fire. And Kid recorded the second verse and mixed and mastered this record. So without further ado, there's all of that. So now you know a little bit of the players involved. Now, also, what was going on in my life at this time is when I was first coming up after I had my kid in my 20s, I had a clique of guys that I made music with. And it all fell apart. One of them, as I said, passed away. He was killed. Another one went to prison. Another one got put on papers, and I was kind of just standing there like, man, what am I going to do now? So I tried to make a new kind of group at the time. It was 5 guys, really talented artists, but it just didn't work out. It didn't click. So now I'm sitting there, and I've been making music for about 4 or 5 years at this point. It went well. I had some highs. I had some lows. Tried to make this new group. It didn't work out. So I'm really kind of down in the dumps. I'm lonely. I'm bummed out, and I just got a lot on my heart at the time. So I call Libby, and I book a session at his old studio, and I go to the studio, and I work on Sinatra. So this beat is produced by a producer named Classic Beats, who I'd found online. Never met the guy, but an amazing producer. I grabbed the beat, and come to find out, I had all the intentions and plans on buying it, but there was a sample in the beat. It was a Bob Dylan sample, actually. And I held on to it for a long time because I debated getting the sample cleared, or should I just drop it for free? What should I do? I didn't know. So I held it for some years, and also I want to apologize to my boy, Mad Soul, another amazing producer, Troy Maddox. Troy and I had talked about reproducing this record for years. He was like, man, let me go in there and remake the beat. And that was the plan. But frankly, I have so many records coming out that I just want to put it out there for now. So Troy, I love you. I'm sorry. I know promises were made. Mistakes happened. What are you going to do? I don't know. But anyway, so I got the beat. I went over there, and I'm just kind of in my head, and I'm in the booth, and I do the hook and the first verse. And funny enough, this is actually a part 2 record. It's a sequel to a record I put out on a project called Cup of Blues when I was 21, right after my friend passed away. The first record was also called Sinatra, but it was Sinatra. And I'll definitely re-put that out because it's a beautiful record. I'm very young when I made it, but it's a lyrical masterpiece. So this was kind of like a follow-up or a part 2, kind of similar vibe. So in this record, I do a lot of lyrical floating. So first, let's go ahead and get into the lyrics now. So the first hook starts, and it goes, that boy there, the young Sinatra. He get high as helicopters. He get hoes and dodge coppers. That boy there, the young Sinatra. And the reason I kind of picked Sinatra is in the original song, it had a Sinatra sample in Sinatra Part 1. So I kind of was like, oh, yeah, let's make this a sequel because it had a Sinatra vibe. I actually thought that the piano progression might be from a Sinatra song, even though it was Bob Dylan. But I kind of wanted to make it a follow-up, and Sinatra to me was always like real smooth, real slick. Because you ever notice a lot of white guys are just goofy as hell? They just goofy. I don't know what that's all about. We got to step the swag up, white boys. We got to step it up. I'm just saying. This is ridiculous out here. We got to get flossy and saucy on these motherfuckers. Got to let them know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, big Sinatra fan. Love Sinatra. So it was just, the hook was kind of an embodiment of that. I just really wanted to show, like, that kind of, that suave, smooth operator. You know what I'm saying? Type vibe. So then I get into the verse, and in the verse, I want to highlight some of my favorite parts in here, and you'll see clips of the video as we're doing this. Because the video also, before I get into the lyrics, I shot the video at Studio Space Atlanta with Dontel Antonio. Amazing videographer. Oh my God, so good. And content creator. He does all sorts of workshops and stuff to help people out with business. Another mentor of mine. Definitely go tap in with Dontel Antonio if you never have. He's worked with a lot of the greats. Just absolute beast. And thank him, for just shooting this video. I really loved how it turned out. So shout out to Dontel. But anyway, into the lyrics. As the first verse starts, I go, rap like an outcast, cause I'm an outcast, but I got my Jeep pass and my street pass shit. Most don't know that. Just cause people look at me and they hear me talk and shit, and they don't really know what I've been through. They don't know about the nights sleeping outside, like literally outside. Like when I say homeless, I was like homeless, like no homies, no friends, no nothing. I was in the field. But, they don't know about all the things that we had to do, the fights that we got into, the hustling, the dope dealing, just, it's a lot. And for years, I was just in so much pain inside that I did a lot of things to try and mask it and cover it up, and I was just, like, really in survival mode. So that was just kind of me, like, flexing a little bit, just talking about how I understand that I'm really misunderstood, and people don't understand that you can be smart and intelligent, but also really, been down in the dirt, been in the bricks, done what you had to do to get this money. It's hard when you have the disease of poverty. Man, it's one of the worst things you can ever go through, honestly. And until you get the mental fortitude to figure out how to get a bag, it's tough. It's really tough. So rap like an outcast because I'm an outcast, but I got my G pass and my street pass. Shit, most don't know that. Got to keep that heat strap in case you let them gums flap. Then gonna go bap bap, and you gonna take you a long nap. Here comes Libby. Because the next thing I say is, Libby is crazy. They ain't know what I've been through. I got to battle every day because that's what fighters got to do. And my daughter crying too, Daddy, you ain't never seen me. Tight my pretty princess. Daddy coming, please believe me. Need an angel or a demon, whoever lends a hand. Now this bar, check this out. Bar alert. Whoa. Hang on. This is a bar alert. So right here at this part of the song I go, because I'm choking and I'm drowning, asphyxiating quicksands. So if we break this bar down, it's because I'm choking and I'm drowning. I'm choking and I'm drowning metaphorically with like the weight of the world, Asphyxiating, which means to choke. Quicksands. And quick hands but slow dollars. Pretty girls in my Impala. And lately I'm alone, and that's never been a problem. Mr. Chairman, ain't a soul that I can trust. And tears from these betrayals, Iron Man begins to rust. Ooh, that's a bar. Tears from these betrayals, Iron Man begins to rust. God damn it, that boy got some heat. Ooh, that's a bar. I spit that shit and I was like, damn, bro, that's real. Tears from these betrayals, Iron Man begins to rust. And my mind's a silent hush, like quiet on the set. Spark a blunt and crack a smile. And I declare. And then the hook comes in. So that's the first verse. It's really just kind of talking about how it's hard to trust people, how the weight of the world was just getting to the point where I literally felt like I was choking to death. I was drowning. And that even though, tears from these betrayals, Iron Man begins to rust. It's probably my favorite bar in the song, just because it's talking about how I had to be so strong for so long. And I just kind of had to suffer silently through all the bullshit because everybody and their brother that could fuck me over in life had at that point just put me on the back burner, stole from me, robbed from me, cheated on me. I mean, you name it. It was just like, it was bad. It was bad times. And this is before I met the love of my life that I'm with now, Lacey. This was in the past. This is before the good times. So, anyway, well, what I'm talking about is, as far as like people fooling around on your boy and shit like that, because my girl's solid as a rock. You heard me. But yeah, so it was tough. It was a lot. And I was just kind of had reached that point after I tried to make that second group and it wasn't working out. And I was like, man, like, am I ever going to figure this shit out? Like, God, what am I missing? So the second chorus comes through, and then we get into the second verse. So second verse starts up, and let's take a look here. Let's see what we say next. Let me take a look and see. Ooh, this shit is hard. So, second verse starts. This is preemptive. Suicide attempting. When you take your body, push it to its limit. So what I'm talking about right here is preemptive suicide attempting. Take your body, push it to its limits. Back then, I was working just like a savage beast. I was working moving furniture. I was working at night until like 1 and 2 a.m. in the morning at a YMCA, cleaning toilets, doing janitor work, codenamed The Cleaner. So I was just literally burning the candle at both ends, trying to get the bread to figure out a way to make this career work. And I was just pushing myself so hard, it really started to feel like I was like dying, like physically. So this is preemptive suicide attempt, and take your body, push it to its limits. Let's see the next line. Push it to its limits. Okay, so this is a dope bar too. So in this song, then the next thing I go, kid, even you doubt me, but you gonna see I'm the one that moves the mountains. I done found the magic fountain shit. I am the proof. And a land built of facades, all I speak is the truth. They dream of Bentley coupes, a million blunts like I was Snoop. A mansion on an island, I play that shit on a loop. Like what I gotta do, I know that I ain't ordinary. Sometimes I question if you're real, but I know that you can hear me. I got a tattoo 2 canaries, one for me, one for my daughter. I just wanted to be proud of her father. So when I'm talking about kid, I'm not talking about my kid. I'm talking about kid class. Because back then, when I'd go into the studio a lot of times, I would see all these other artists, and I made the common mistake that a lot of people make. I compared myself to other people. And I would see kid working with these artists, and I felt like they were passing me by, and he and I were close. We got along really well. So I was like, frustrated that I wasn't making more progress with my career. And I was in the studio with Kid, and I was telling him about it. And I was like, kid, even you doubt me, but you gonna see I'm the one that moves the mountains. I done found the magic fountain. Like, look, I'm gonna prove it to you. Like, I'll earn my spot. I'll earn my place. And the truth of the matter is, back then, I made really fire music, but all of it wasn't really fire. It was like 1 in 10. It wasn't a good enough ratio. I wasn't ready. God didn't have me in the position that I needed to be in yet to really kind of like capitalize and do what I needed to do. So that was kind of like, because Kid was such a mentor to me, still is such a mentor to me. And I was going through it at the time, and I was frustrated that I couldn't get my career off the ground. So that's what that bar is talking about. Kid, even you doubt me, and you gonna see I'm the one who moves the mountains. I done found the magic fountain shit. I am the truth. In a land built of facades, or basically fake shit, I am the proof. Daydream of Bentley coupes, and this is pretty, self-explanatory. Daydream of Bentley coupes, a million blunts like I was Snoop. A mansion on an island, I play that shit on a loop. Like, what I gotta do, I know that I'm not ordinary. Sometimes I question if you're real, talking about God, but I know that you can hear me. And I have a tattoo on my shoulder, and that's the next line. It's a tattoo of 2 birds in a cage. And the father bird opens the cage and has the keys in his mouth, and the daughter bird is right behind him. And I got that for my daughter to basically say, like songbirds, that I'm going to set us free by getting this music off the ground, and I'm going to take care of you. It's like a promise I made to her and to myself. And you guys are going to help me make that come true, right? But, so I got a tattoo 2 canaries, one for me, one for my daughter. I just wanted to be proud of her father. And the world is loud. Sometimes I'm bothered, so I get lost in clouds of marijuana. Pain pills and syrup bottles a bad way, but when I know if I don't ever make it, just make sure my story's told. So with those lines, back then I was, in my early 20s, and up until that point, off and on, I'd always struggled with substance abuse back and forth. It's always been a long uphill battle. It was tough. Finally kicked it, finally beat it, and shout out to anybody that's doing the sober thing. It's tough as a motherfucker, but it will definitely change your life. Only things I do on occasion, have a little bit of a drink every now and then, and smoke some of the sticky icky, but nothing else. But it was, the last line I say in there, which has always been kind of the most important thing to me in life besides my family, is I say, if I don't ever make it, just make sure my story's told. And leaving a legacy and sharing my story and what I've been through has always been super, 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 super important to me. So, it's just one of those things where I'm super glad I'm finally getting to do all these, because letting people know where I've been and that you can kind of go from the bottom and make your dreams come true, which we're in the process of doing right now. It's possible. It is possible. You have to work so hard, but it is very, very possible. But this is a deep cut. This is one out of the vault. God, I probably recorded this now 4 or 5 years ago. It's probably like 2016, 2017. I've been sitting on this for a hot minute. So I'm excited to finally get it out. And the video was awesome, too. We shot it in 2 days. Or we did 2 videos in 1 day, rather. I did another one with Maui Max, a.k.a. Robbie Williams. Definitely check him out, too. That video isn't up any longer. It was a song called Play, but I might do a Lyrically Speaking on it. I might put it back up there and let you guys see. We'll see. But had a lot of fun, went to Studio Space Atlanta, and you'll see in the video I'm sitting on this like rotating little Jean that like goes around and around. It was good times. But and the female lead in there, the model is my girl Lacey, looking super bad, make loving. Hey girl, hey, damn. So look, guys, Sinatra's out right now. It's 100% free. The video is on YouTube. It's not going to be on streaming platforms. And I'm going to constantly give you guys free content that's not on streaming platforms, just to make sure you've always got something new to listen to. Kind of like Lil Wayne used to do. Weezy always used to drop free content, free projects, free mixtapes, and that was really, it took me years to buy his stuff when I was piss poor, and it meant so much to me that he dropped free stuff, so I always want to keep that alive, keep that free stuff, the remixes, just the stuff with samples, all that, because it's not about the money, it's about the art at the end of the day, because I can promise you there are a million easier ways to make money than in music. You can make some money in music now, don't get me wrong, but a million bajillion easier ways to make money than in music. But Sinatra definitely holds a special and dear place in my heart. Love this record. It was kind of when I was phasing out of rapping and really had my eyes on singing, which I then took the next 4 or 5 years and really dedicated that to getting my singing chops up. And look, I wasn't born with like some amazing voice. I just trained and learned how to use recording equipment like software and auto-tune and everything as an instrument to be able to make these sing songs in my head that weren't just rap. I'm definitely always going to rap because I love it and it's something that I got really good at over the years. But singing, man, I love to sing. It's so much fun. Really is. But yeah, guys, deep cut, Sinatra. If you're watching this, that means the music video is out right now. YouTube.com/Colgate770. You can follow me on the gram, Colgate770. Facebook the same, Colgate770. Merch is coming February 14th. Tons more records on the way. February 14th as well. 3-song EP, The Cat's Pajamas. Slick it in the Cat's Pajamas. Coming out. That's going to be super fire. Super excited to share that with you guys. And that's going to be all streaming platforms. So, yeah, let's get it. Come on, 2023, the Jordan year, damn it. I'm going to flood y'all with stuff. So much more stuff on the way. More records coming February. Boom. Enjoy this one. Guys, don't change that channel because Colgeezy's here to stay. You heard me? All right, guys. Y'all be easy weezy. I'll catch you next time. This has been Lyrically Speaking. Yes, sir.